Welcome to Codex History of Video Games. I'm Mike Coletta.
And I'm Tyler Osby.
And today we're talking a mailbag. It's a mailbag episode.
Let's answer some emails.
And
Discord messages.
And Discord messages. We don't have as many today, but we're going to play a game at the end, and I'm excited to play a game.
We haven't done a 20 questions in a while.
We haven't done a 20 questions in a while, and Tyler says he's probably going to stump me.
I think so, but you're going to like it anyway.
I'm going to have fun losing.
You will enjoy. You will have fun, yeah. Oh, or maybe you'll get it. I don't know. That'd be great.
I do a crazy thing. I play video games and games in general for fun. I know that's not what most people do. Yeah, it's nuts. It's not right.
For fun?
Yeah, disgusting.
Not for the rewards?
Not for the rewards. I do disgusting behavior. I don't play to level up. I play for fun.
Wow.
All right. Let's start with the emails. Does that work for you?
Sounds great.
All right. I'm going to read this email from Jordan from Pittsburgh.
Okay.
And they say, while we are on the topic of funny games, I forgot to include an original Xbox game called Metal Arms. Have you ever heard of this game?
I have. And it's one of those games that I've always heard is so great, but that nobody knows about. And I have yet to like actually play it, but I have heard of it and I want to.
Well, Jordan goes on to say, this is exciting. You know you're in for a fun time when the first disposable characters you meet are called Private Hosed and Corporal Screwed. If you haven't guessed it, they die in the first 10 minutes. So anyway, there was other stuff in the email too. I just wanted to read Jordan's chunk about the game though recommendation. I've never heard of this game. I think we should cover it.
Yeah, it's like I think it was PS2 and Xbox. It might have been or GameCube and Xbox. It might have been on PS2 also. Metal Arms. Let me pull it up.
Yeah, and also the ending.
Yeah, I was on all three of those.
From Jordan from Pittsburgh says boss spider butts, not normal ones, the boss ones specifically. So that's important, I think.
Oh man, like Queen Goma from Ocarina of Time.
Mm-hmm.
That's a boss spider.
A boss spider.
What's another boss spider?
You know, in Ocarina of Time, the Lego set, because they announced the Lego set. Hit the tangent button. Here we go. Hit the tangent button. Hit it.
We're already in. We're like 2 minutes into this.
I mean, it's a mailbag. This is all over the place, and we don't care. It's free 99, so enjoy your free content.
Yeah.
But the in the Ocarina and the Deku Tree Lego set for Zelda that's being released, you could either do it's a 2-in-1. You could do Breath of the Wild Deku Tree, or you could do Ocarina of Time Deku Tree. And the Ocarina of Time one has the spider enemies that flip.
Oh yeah. The little baby gomas.
Yeah. And then in the Breath of the Wild one, it has Hestu, and that's why I'm going to buy the set. I'm buying the set for Hestu. I am a huge Hestu fan. I never skip the cutscene. I love Hestu so much.
That's the Korok Seed guy.
The Korok Seed, the dancing one. It's like chicka chicka. Yeah, like does a little dance with you, and I watch it every time. I love it. I love it so much. It makes me so happy whenever I upgrade my inventory space.
Oh man, I mean, I need to play Ocarina of Time Master Quest. You know, I've never played the Master Quest.
Is that the one that randomizes it?
No, that's the one that I think it first came out for normal people as the pre-order bonus for Wind Waker. When you pre-ordered Wind Waker, you got a disc that's worth a bunch of money now that had Ocarina of Time and had Ocarina of Time Master Quest for GameCube on it, and it's basically just the same game, but all the dungeons are different. They're a little bit harder, but they're all like different puzzles and stuff. So it's like kind of a whole second game that I've just never played, despite having played the original like 8,000 times.
Oh wow, that's
so it's like
really cool.
It's like playing Ocarina of Time again for the first time without knowing any of the puzzles, which is kind of.
I was thinking about firing up Ocarina of Time on and I think it's on the N64 Switch emulator. Yeah. And I was thinking about firing it up because I realized like I've played that game multiple times, but I don't have memory of beating that game.
Oh, you got
it. I'm like, did I beat it? Like, I'm really wondering, like, did I actually beat it or did I not beat it? Like, I can't remember.
You got it then. The best way to play it now is the PC port. There's a Ship of Harkanian. It's a PC version. There's like some setup involved, but you get like, it's a little bit more modernized where, you know, you can get camera control on a second joystick and like just like nice quality of life things that make it better.
So I could play it on an Xbox controller is what you're saying.
You could, yeah. And it's great. You could also play Majora's Mask that way now too. With the version of Ship of Harkanian from Majora's Mask is called Two Harkanian or something. Anyway, it's funny.
That's really funny. I like that. Cool. Well, yeah. So
we love Fast and Furious here.
Yeah, Metal Arms though. So did you look that up as a PlayStation?
Yes, GameCube, PlayStation 2, and Xbox came out in 2003. And it looks fun. Looks like it's got some split screen multiplayer here. I'm just looking at the screenshot.
What kind of game is it?
Yeah.
Is it like
I think it's kind of a third person shooter action adventure video game. I think it's kind of in the same vein as like a Ratchet and Clank.
Ah, nice. Okay, cool.
Which is on sale right now on Steam. by the way.
Ooh, yeah, Steam Summer Sale. We're in it right now,
Yep,
everybody.
Ratchet and Clank, Rift Apart.
Ooh, that's
We love it. I
all
love
right. Do you want to read Gabriel's email here? There's no ending thing for us. I'm guessing we're just gonna go by their first name. It's
Yeah.
Gabriel's email.
Who is the subject line is who is the biggest villain in the Titanic movie? What's up, Mike and Tyler? My buddies and I were at a brewery discussing who is the main villain in the Titanic movie. Is it Rose, Jack, the iceberg, or Billy Zane? Billy Zane, like the human, not the character he plays,
But actual Billy Zane.
but actual just Billy Zane, who was alive in 1923 or whatever. What is your guys' opinion on the subject? Well, we'll stop there. First of all, this is a core piece of my lore. I've never seen Titanic. And at this point, I'm scared to, I feel like it ruins part of me if I see it. So I've never seen it.
I don't think you ever should. I mean, it's also one of those movies where I'm gonna say something unpopular here. It's fine. It's just fine. It's not the greatest movie. Like at the time it came out, it was a big deal for what it was. It's like cinematically,
Mm-hmm.
but now that it's what over 30 years later, you're not missing much. I think.
Yeah, I know how it ends.
You
And
know how
I
it
feel
ends.
like because it was such a huge cultural touch point that I've just through cultural osmosis, I've seen the movie,
Mhm.
And
Like I'll never let go, Jack. You know about that stuff, right?
yeah, I think I've concocted what I think this movie is in my
Yeah,
brain. And
because
so maybe one day I will watch it just to see how close my mental image of it is.
that would actually be really funny if I would want to do that with you. I would
I'll have
want
to
to
do a
watch.
plot summary. I'll write it down beforehand.
Yeah,
I'll be like, okay, here's
you.
the treatment of the movie as I understand it in my brain,
Mhm.
and then I'll watch the movie and we'll see how close it is.
Because I would say who's the biggest villain in the movie? I think it's not going to be Billy Zane. It's
No,
not going to be Jack. It's either going to be Rose or the iceberg. And I have a distinct reason why it's Rose, but it's going to be spoiler territory for you.
well, as I understand it, at the end of the movie, she's an old lady and she's still. This is spoilers, I guess, for anybody else who hasn't seen it. Maybe I don't know. I've never seen it. Maybe it's not spoilers, but and she's like still hung up on this guy that she met on a boat that I don't know died probably in the boat. I don't know.
Yeah, but the big part about it is, am I okay to do this? Like, there's no, we're going past the point of no return, I guess. The movie ends, like not the movie ends. They end with her floating on a piece of like a door or something,
Mm-hmm.
and then him in the water,
Yep.
and they're like holding hands, and she's like, "I'll never let go, Jack." And then they're in the middle of the Atlantic, so he dies of hypothermia.
Yeah. She
Obviously.
does let go.
So, but the thing about it is, if I remember correctly in the movie, two people could have fit on the piece of rubble. Like she just didn't let him on there. I think
Yeah.
I'm like, but in the end, though, it's clearly the iceberg because the iceberg killed everybody.
That's
So
true.
it's got to be the
And she
iceberg.
did never let him go though at the end of that movie because she's an old lady, right?
Mm-hmm. Or actually, realistically, not on this. The captain. I mean, it's on the captain.
Yeah. How do you hit an iceberg, dude?
It's also arguably on the company. There's a lot of things with the Titanic because they describe the ship as unsinkable, and there's a lot of engineering issues with that ship that people were like, well, it actually didn't really have very good. Like it was engineering wise, I guess was dicey. I'm not an engineer though. One of my favorite conspiracy theories is about the Titanic though.
Oh.
And that is that it never sank because it was not the Titanic that sank. It was like a different ship.
The Britannic?
The Britannic, yeah. It was
That's
they
the
claim
sister ship?
Yeah, they say the sister ship sank and it wasn't the Titanic, and it was all like a whole.
Who cares?
It's
it
very
doesn't matter. It makes zero difference.
exactly. It's one of those ones where it's kind of a harmless conspiracy theory, which I like a harmless one. You know what I mean? It's the ones that are problematic towards like misinformation.
Why would they lie about that? Why?
I know, man. I know.
Who cares? And if it were the Britannic, if they were talking about it, we'd be going, it wasn't actually the Britannic. It was the sister ship, the Titanic.
Yeah, right.
And then we'd be having the same conversation, but in reverse.
I'm getting nervous personally because I'm a big space guy. I like space. I like NASA. I like all that stuff, and they're coming out with that movie soon that's like a joke about, it's like a fake like joke about how they filmed the moon landing. You know what I'm talking about? The one with Channing Tatum. And
sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say the point of it is like if we don't land on the moon, we have to have a backup.
Yeah, I think that's pretty funny.
That's how they're framing it. Yeah, which is really funny. But I'm just waiting.
They lost all the tapes, and so they had to refilm it.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for all the people to come out of the woodwork. Like, see, you know what I mean? But I think I would actually say it's going to be. It's got to be the iceberg. It's got to be the
Okay. All
iceberg.
right. Well, welcome to Codex History of
Titanic.
Titanic. Okay. This email's not over, by the way. Have you guys checked out Frank and Sons Collectibles in LA? They have retro video games to comic books. Talking about video games, what is your favorite pre-order bonuses you got from a video game? Mine is the Fallout 3 lunchbox that includes a bobblehead and a DVD making of Fallout 3. Love the show. Keep up the good work. I have not been to Frank and Sons Collectibles in LA. But my favorite pre-order bonus that I ever got was the bag, the messenger bag from Mirror's Edge. It was a really like cheap bag, but it was cool because it was the same bag that was in the game. So that's cool. I like that. And it was just the right size to transport an Xbox 360 around.
I'm trying to think. I don't know if I ever got a physical pre-order bonus.
Yeah, I don't really do pre-orders.
Because I think
especially now, I got enough junk, man.
I think my favorite pre-order bonuses aren't really pre-orders at all. They're just like when you would get a game. Again, old man. I've ranted about this so many times. I can tell myself I'm going in circles, but just I miss opening a box and seeing the map. Remember when Grand Theft Auto 5 came out on 360? It had a map, and you would like open it up and it'd be like a poster, or like all the like Vice City had a map. Like I just like that. I like having a physical map to look at. And we're gonna get to something about this later because someone sent us an email about strategy guides we're gonna talk about in a bit. But yeah, I miss that kind of thing. I really do. Which is why Dual Destiny made me so happy because we were writing stuff down. We were doing it. We were in it.
We had to. We need to have an actual notebook.
And now we're professionals.
Envelope.
Now we're really good at it.
We should probably figure out how to do it without there's probably a easy way for us to think about that doesn't.
I mean, you could just tell me and I could just see mine and I could probably figure it out, but it's a lot easier for me to write it down at the same time. Also, we're really good level now, so we don't even I can spend some time writing. I'll be fine.
Yeah.
All right. So thank you so much, Gabriel. Appreciate it. Let's go to the next email here.
This one from Jessica.
Yeah, Jessica from New Hampshire. This is the one. This is the strategy guide one. I'm excited.
Great.
Okay. Finally caught up is the subject line. Hi, Mike and Tyler. I have been listening for your show for about a year now, but I finally got caught up. I love listening to the show, but the reason I am writing in is because of the attached pictures. I have had this forever.
Can we share the picture?
Yeah, we can. You
gotta watch on YouTube if you're listening. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, is it okay to here? I wasn't ready for this. I should have planned ahead. If I was a better podcaster, I would have planned ahead. But hold on. I'm going to share the photos here. Let me get this going here.
Make sure there are no identifiable information in the photos. They seem okay.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So let me share my screen here. This is good. I always forget we can do this, Tyler. This is great. Share screen. Share screen. We're going to go here. There we go. So yeah, we got these pictures here. So this is actually Pokemon Crystal version guide. That's what this is.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah, look at that. That's pretty cool. So so I'll keep reading the email here as we go along. I've had this forever. It is my original. As you can see in the photos, it has been well loved, and apparently younger me used it at one point to write down a cheat code, which you can see. Oh, hey, look at it. It's the overlay for the podcast. It's right there. My friend likes to joke that this is old enough to drink. That's just funny.
Yeah.
I still play the Game Boy Color game on my weird clear blue plastic Game Boy Advanced. You know, the plastic that was all the rage in the 90s and early 2000s. Oh, we know, Jessica. It's our favorite thing in the entire world, that clear, translucent plastic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's crazy to think consoles got rid of backwards compatibility. When I was a kid, I was addicted to strategy guides. This one is full of errors, from wrong Pokemon pictures next to their names to typos. It's fun to catch as an adult, but I'm not sure I caught these when I was younger. Was there ever something you had to have when playing a game? At 32, I still crack open a book and use it to play the game with. Spider Jumps, Jessica from New Hampshire. I do love a strategy guide. I miss them. A lot. Like this kind of thing right here with all these maps and like dungeon layouts they're showing. Like that's really cool to me.
Lots of times these days games kind of have these, like especially maps and stuff sort of built in, which is I think is generally fine. But there was something nice about like just the technical limitations of games meant that you couldn't really have a map built into the game. And so you had to have something external, which was kind of cool. Or if you were really cool, you drew your own maps. Like there are people that have their own hand-drawn like Legend of Zelda maps from back in the 80s, which is pretty cool.
That is really cool. I think I like that. I like when you had to like figure it out and you would draw something. But these are really cool. I'm trying to think of a strategy guide I had. I had the one for Grand Theft Auto Vice City. and I used that to find all the hidden packages. I remember that
Mhm.
being a guide. I kind of wish I still had that. See, I'm glad, Jessica, you should treasure this forever, even though it's falling apart. This is a beautiful thing. I
Yeah.
love these like strategy guides like this. Did you ever have those, Tyler?
Yeah, I loved the strategy guide or the player's guide, the official Nintendo player's guide for The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. And I've probably talked about this on the podcast before, but it was the strategy guide was told as if they were like telling you a story. So they would say, and then Link went to the Deku Tree, and in the first room he found a treasure chest that contained the map, and then that kind of thing. And so it was like the whole thing was told as a story, which was really cool.
That
And
is
then when
really
you got to
cool.
the last boss, they didn't tell you how to beat it. They just said, "Oh, this is where the story ends. We don't know how it ends. I guess you just have to figure it out yourself."
That's hilarious. So the final boss is like, figure it out. We
Yep.
got you this far. You can do it.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool. I did have the Prima like strategy guide for it that was not done in that way, and it was less charming.
You had 2 strategy guides for one
Yeah,
game. A true
yeah, I
fan.
love that game, man.
I know you did. That's great. That's wonderful. All right. Do you want to read the Hey Mike, hey Tyler? This is
I've
funny.
been meaning to send you a short email from Nicholas.
And that was
That's it.
it. That's it. Thank you so much for sending this short email. We appreciate you. That's great. All right. Do you want to read Martin from Oregon's email? Because that one was a short email. Do you want to read
Yeah.
this?
This one is the subject is video games with my dad. Hey guys, Martin from Oregon here. I just wanted to share a wholesome video game memory from my childhood for your next mailbag episode. My dad and I loved playing games together when I was a kid, and I have one memory that stands out above the rest. My dad loves baseball and has always been a big Mariners fan. Go Imps.
Yeah, go
So,
Mariners.
so he was always trying to get me into it. One way he did that was by playing baseball video games with me. We used to play Ken Griffey Jr.'s Winning Run on the Super Nintendo all the time. He would just crush me in that game every time we played, but the more we played, the better I got. I finally beat him one day and then never lost to him again. It infuriated him to no end that he could never beat me again, but he was also super proud of me for eventually getting so good at it. I felt really accomplished for getting good at something my dad loved, and it was a really special moment for me. Anyway, I remember one game we played specifically. He hit a ground ball and was running to first base. I fielded it and threw it to first at the exact same time as his runner got there. The game audio glitched, and the umpire started to say safe, but the audio switched it to out mid-word. So it came out as out. My dad starts screaming at the game. What's out? Ever since then, it's become a running joke between the two of us. Every time something questionable happened or someone changed their mind about something, we would yell out, and I'll never forget those memories. You will always and will always hold a special place for baseball video games in my heart because of those moments with my dad. Anyway, keep up the great work. You guys rock. Gluteus arachnus, Martin from Oregon. That's a great
That's
memory.
that is
That's really
great.
good.
Also, like baseball's already got the whole like umpires deciding things and calling it wrong, and then the video
Yeah,
game does it. That's fantastic. It's
yeah.
wonderful. I
I
love
used
that
to
so
have
much.
an inside joke with a couple friends of mine, it's sort of video game related, where for a long time, Guild Wars 2, before it came out, because it was in development for years before it came out, because the first one was in like 2005, I want to say, and the second one
Yeah.
came out in like 2012. So Guild Wars 2 was in development for a really long time, and there was like a period of time where there was like 3 or 4 years where we just didn't hear anything about it. And on I think it was GameSpot.com. This is where I got my release dates at the time. Said summer of 2008 for Guild Wars 2 for until they announced the actual release date in 2012. So it would be like 2010, and it still said summer 2008. And so whenever between this friend of mine and I, whenever he says like, when's this gonna happen, and the other person doesn't know, they always say, yeah, summer 2008.
That's great. That's so true though. Gosh, I played Guild Wars 1. I really liked Guild Wars.
Guild Wars 1 is great.
I never played Guild Wars 2 though.
It's
I was
very different, very fun, more traditional MMO than Guild Wars 1 was. Guild Wars 1 was like more like Diablo, I would say then.
Yeah, and Guild Wars 1 was different for me because I was playing it solo, but I just was
Yeah.
so intrigued because I just knocked my mouse off my desk. I never got to play World of Warcraft because of the subscription. Like that was
That's
the big
exactly why I play Guild Wars 2.
that was yeah, and that's why I got Guild Wars 1 because I was like what I bought the game with my own money just without a subscription and I played it, but I was playing it solo and no one else played. So it was like,
Yeah.
oh, none of my friends are playing WoW and I'm playing Guild Wars.
Yeah. But that game you could do solo really well because it had the henchman system where you could just you could either group up with people or you could just take bots with you. And that's kind of what I did most of the time.
Yeah, that was fun. It was a fun time. It was a good time. That's a great story though. I love that. All right, cool. So now we're gonna go on to the Discord. So the first question we have on Discord is from James from Colorado. James from Colorado here. What genre of games have either of you never really tried much, but feel that you might want to jump into? For me, it is the manager mode on the Madden games. I don't think I have played a true sports game like Madden since the early 2000s, but I have been curious about how decent the manager mode is in the newer games. That's really good. I also haven't played a Madden game since the early 2000s. I want to say Madden 2004 was the
Yeah,
last one I played.
I think 2000. I played 2005. I liked that one.
For me, I've been intrigued lately. I mean, really, like it's a two types for me. It's Souls games. Ever since we talked to Lisa, I've had a hankering for playing a
Sekiro's on
Souls
sale
game.
right now too. It's Steam summer sale.
Yeah, I
Sekiro's like
know.
$20 right now.
Everything's on sale. I just need to stop buying games. I have so many games I have.
Same.
And then the other thing I want to like kind of get into is fighting games. I want to start playing more fighting games, like the traditional, like Street Fighter, Tekken, that kind of thing. 'Cause I feel like that's a big lapse in my gaming history right now. Is that?
Yeah. I would have liked to get into real-time strategies a little bit more, like a classic, like sort of Warcraft, StarCraft, those games. I played a little bit of them growing up. I feel like I don't want to say it's the dead genre, but it's kind of, there hasn't really been anything in that genre lately. That's a genre I would like to. I also am intrigued by the manager mode in sports games as well. I think it's interesting that Football Manager is its own game separate from like the FIFA games. Like it's standalone, its own whole thing where you're just simulating of being a football team manager, which I think is cool. Soccer for us Americans. But every time I like the idea of it, but every time I fire it up, I'm like, this is spreadsheets, the game. And I don't know where to start, and I'm scared, and I'm going to go back to something that's more familiar to me.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I guess what was the sports game? I was thinking about playing an NHL game. I haven't played a hockey game in so long, and I was like, I like hockey games. I wanted to play golf games because I liked golf games as a kid. Play them a lot, like Mario Golf, and then later like PGA Tour and stuff. But they got so microtransaction-y, where you'd buy the game and there would be like a majority of the courses would be locked, and you'd have to pay extra money. And I was like, this is stupid. Yeah. It's not good. It doesn't feel good. But good question, though. Okay. Do you want to read Mo's?
Yeah, Mo's got one here. It says, I have recently become completely obsessed with a poker roguelike called Balatro, which we talked about on the show before, I believe. I used to hate roguelikes because most of them are difficult, very random, and have very little, if any, sense of progression between runs, unlike roguelites, which tend to have some sense of progression between runs. For some reason, Balatro has broken this genre wide open for me, and I've already dumped 24 hours into this game after buying it only 7 days ago. The epiphany I had is that no run is useless or without progression because you always learn something new, what works or what doesn't work about each failed run. A complete reset between runs also makes a winning run absolutely euphoric. You're the king for a minute until you reset and rack up another losing streak. My question for you, has there been a game for you that has broken open a genre that you haven't typically enjoyed? I have an answer for this question.
You do? Well, the fun
Yes.
part is I've been playing Balatro. And I have Balatro on Switch, and I've been kind of playing it on and off the last couple of weeks, and I really enjoy it. The one for me that kind of roguelikes was a game that I didn't get into. And what broke it open for me probably was Hades. Hades broke that open for me and made it more enjoyable, that type of game. Just the principle of it for that, like of you fail a run, you level up a little bit, and then you go back in and you get better. Because it did feel, when I beat Hades, it felt so good the first time. I was just like, oh, I just did it. I was like happy. So yeah, roguelikes are the same for me, honestly. What about you, Tyler?
For me, so I do have a roguelike story. It's Slay the Spire. That's the one that has I played Slay the Spire a lot, and I'm like, oh, I get it now. I get why people enjoy this stuff. I haven't played Balatro. I'm kind of waiting for it to come out on phones because I think that type of game is just like a perfect phone game. The Slay the Spire is the same way.
Phones.
So I'm waiting. I know I think they've said it's coming. And I understand the technology it's built on makes it very easy. Nothing's easy, but you know what I mean. It's coming. That's what I understand. The game that broke open a genre for me was Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle. Made tactical RPGs make sense to me. I was like, oh, I get it. I get why people like these games now. And so since then, I played Persona 5 Tactica. I started playing Gears Tactics, which is pretty neat. and I want to play Final Fantasy Tactics, but the rumors are there's a remake coming soon, so I'm kind of waiting for that.
Are you gonna maybe delve into XCOM?
I would like to. I played a little bit of XCOM and I was like, I don't get this. This was like years ago. I was like, I don't really get why people like this. Isn't it for me? But now having that foundation that I got from Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle, I'm like, okay, I get it. Now the XCOM stuff seems like it could be pretty fun. And also XCOM 2, Steam Summer Sale, it was like $3, so I just bought it.
Yeah, that's the way to go. That's for sure the way to go. Cool. That's great. Yeah, I think it's fun when you get into a new genre. Also, I guess Jedi Fallen Order made me realize I might like Souls games because that was like baby's first Souls game a little bit. So that kind of got me excited about it. But again, I haven't really fully gone all in yet. So that's kind of where I'm at right now with that. But all right, cool. The last one here is from Casino Tarantino. And I've been wondering if you guys would want to do something like a summer GDQ, but with the community. Maybe something like most obscure game from your childhood, with the prize just being a shout out to the winner in your guys' opinion of most obscure. I like that. I like that idea. I like that idea thoroughly. And I kind of want there to be a prize. Like, I want there to be a prize. Well, here's what I want to do. You and I, Tyler, we're going to keep the limit low. I think the prize should be we each go to a local game store and try to find like a $5 game that we put in the thing. So you will win a prize from Tyler and I each, but we're not going to say what the game is. We're not going to tell each other what the games are. So I'll go to like Game Gurus or Pink Elephant here in Seattle, and I'll try to find a cheap used game. And then Tyler will go try to like a cheap used game. And that would be the prize. I think there should be a prize. I think it'd be fun.
Yeah. Yeah. That could be fun.
And I'll design a certificate on Canva that'll make it look very official.
Ooh.
Be like, this person won. But so GDQ, that's like the speedrunning thing, right?
Yeah, game's done quick.
Yeah, okay. So that makes sense when you say it out loud like that. That makes a lot more sense. But so what would it be like someone just says, what's your most obscure game? And everyone just submits?
I'm not sure. We'll talk about it.
That's something good. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I think people should, Casino, reach out to us on Discord and we'll elaborate more. And then other people can chime in and we'll figure this out. Because I think it'll be fun. I think it'll be a fun thing to do. And I will find something obscure. Is it going to be good? No, the game's not going to be good. But it's going to be the game that we chose. And that's going to be beautiful. And we'll mail it to you. And that's the fun part. So, cool. All right. Yeah, I like that idea a lot. I like that. Good idea. Okay. That was all that we don't have a lot of emails or posts today. So that was kind of it. But that's fine. Because now Tyler and I are going to play
20 questions.
We need a button for
that. 20 questions.
20 questions.
Okay. So I don't have to. I have this game picked out. I don't have to do anything yet, right? You just ask questions. Yes or no questions.
Just ask yes or no questions.
Okay.
And we try to narrow it down. Was this game made before the year 2000?
No.
Okay, so that's one question. Is this game made on console or PC?
Yes.
So both? Okay.
I mean, you asked, it's a question. The question you asked, the answer is yes.
Oh, yeah. This game, can I fix it? Does that count? That counts as one. I messed up. We got to pay this. Was this made on console?
Yes.
Okay. I'm at 3. Dang it. Is this an exclusive game? Platform exclusive game?
No.
Okay. Is this a first-person shooter?
No.
Is this I'm trying to figure out a way to answer to narrow down the genre. Is this hold on. Gosh, if it's going to be multi-platform, that's going to be really hard, actually, isn't it? Is this a game based on a movie franchise?
I think the answer to this is yes.
Okay. Is this a science fiction game?
Yes.
Is it based on Star Trek?
No.
Is it based on Star Wars?
No.
Science fiction game based on a movie franchise. Not Star Trek, not Star Wars. Is this based on Warhammer 40,000?
No.
Oh, I got to think about franchises. Is this a real-time strategy game?
No.
I'm at 11 questions. This is hard. Oh, okay. So it's a science fiction game. It is after the year 2000. It is this based on Chronicles of Riddick?
No.
That's a bit. I was thinking of the Butcher Bay.
Yeah,
know?
that was a high risk question because you know what the answer is, but if it's a no, then it doesn't help you.
Then it's a waste. Yeah. I know. I'm playing with fire today, Tyler. I'm at 12. Oh boy. I'm thinking about sci-fi games. I have to go. Okay. Is this a third-person game?
Yes.
Third-person science fiction based on a movie, not Star Wars, not Star Trek. Thinking about other science fiction style games. Oh, it's not Chronicles of Riddick. Obviously, I narrowed that down. I wasted my thing. Not Warhammer 40K. Okay. Is this based? I'm trying to think of sci-fi properties that have come out recently, like as far as movies go. Is this based on Dune?
No.
Okay. Oh, maybe I'm. This is hard. This is a good one.
You're gonna like it though.
I'm sure I'm gonna like it. I'm sure I'm gonna like it, and it's intriguing to me. This is what we should be doing, by the way. I feel like sometimes I think I'm like, I know I gotta pick a game that Tyler knows. I think from now on we should do just any game.
Yeah.
Because we should just make it really hard. I like this. And then that way it's fun because when someone figures it out, like listing, they can scream at their radio or whatever. Radio.
Sure.
Sure. Okay. Not Dune, not Star Trek, not Star Wars. Okay. Was this game made after 2010?
No.
So between 2000 and 2010, it's a multi-platform game. It's a third-person game based on a movie franchise. Not Star Wars, not Star Trek. Thinking about what would be.
I'll give you a slight hint. So when you say based on a movie franchise, there are movies in this franchise. I don't think you would consider it a movie franchise.
Oh, okay. So is it based on? Okay, no, wait. Would that be the right year? Is this a Gears of War game?
No.
Okay, that was bad. That was 15. I got 5 left. Sci-fi. There were movies made on it, but it's not necessarily a movie-based game. So it could be a video game first and then a movie, is what you're saying, and it's third person. I'm trying to think here. Is this based on the Alien movies?
Nope.
No. We gotta narrow this down. Let's think here. Is this? I guess it was third person. How the cool thing about this game is it's an exercise in how to narrow down things. You know what I mean? Like a thought experiment on how to narrow something down. And I remember when we were doing this a lot, you had like a really good. Well, I think you did a 2000s question. You separated the years.
Yeah.
I think that was your first one. Third person, good game.
And I think you're right to do is this before after 2000 and before after 2010, because then you get that's like 3 distinct solid chunks of time that you can.
Yeah, that I'm like thinking about now as a kid, like movie games that came out that were sci-fi at that time that were really good. Well, it doesn't have to be good. It could be bad.
Doesn't have to be good. I don't know if it's good.
Doesn't have to be good at all. It could be really bad. Is this a game? I'm trying to like narrow it down here. And it wasn't exclusive. I already asked that. It
Mm-mm.
was not. So it was on PlayStation. It was on Xbox. It was on Nintendo consoles. Oh my goodness! It's not based on Alien. It's not based on Star Wars. It's not based on Star Trek. That would be too easy. Because when you said this, I was immediately went to my go-to, but that's a first person is Star Trek Elite Force, which is a
Mm.
personal game that I really
Strong
enjoy.
game.
Yeah, it is a very strong game. I never played the second one though. I think not Gears of War. I asked that already. Well, Gears of War never had movies. Um, third person.
Talked about making a movie. I feel like somebody has the rights to it, but this hasn't done it yet.
Yeah, they haven't done it yet. Well, I asked if the game was in third person.
Mm-hmm.
Is this game a shooter?
Strictly speaking, I would say no.
No. Okay. So it's third person, but it might not be a shooter.
Yeah. Especially the genre. Like I'm not there is probably shooting in it, but I wouldn't say that like this is a third person shooter.
Is this an RPG?
No.
No, not an RPG.
Here's another sort of like
Let me narrow it. Yeah. Is this a JRPG?
No.
Okay.
Well, I mean, it depends on how strict you want to be. Is it
this is the hard part with yes or no questions with it.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I'm counting JRPG and RPG as one question. Is that okay?
That's fine. Yeah.
Now I'm at 18. I got 2 guesses left.
Yeah.
Okay. Third person.
If you go strictly by what the word the words are JRPG, then technically
a
yes.
Japanese role-playing game.
Then yes. If you're going by like colloquially, like what that means
as far as like a game, like mechanics wise, it's not that.
Yeah, it's not that.
Yeah, I might not know this game, which is still intriguing though to me, because then I get to learn something new. Is this game? It's not an RPG. It's not necessarily a shooter. Wait, is this no? Mirror's Edge was first person. Is this a Red Faction game?
No.
That's a shooter. Why did I ask that? Well, I have one question left, and I don't think I'm going to get it. So, is this game Metal Arms?
No, it is not Metal Arms.
All right, what's the game?
The game is Dynasty Warriors Gundam.
Oh my gosh, and I've been like playing with Gundams and stuff. I should have known.
That's why I knew you would love it.
You got it though. That's great though. That's really good. What's hilarious is 2 nights ago, I was looking at Gundam video games and I saw all 3 Dynasty Warrior Gundam games just sitting there, and I just didn't. Oh man, that's really good.
So it's like, according to Wikipedia, action role playing. So if you want to extrapolate that, is this a JRPG? Strictly speaking, by the words, it's a Japanese role playing game. Yeah, but it's not like a turn based Final Fantasy.
So yeah, I guess listener context here. I've been getting really into Gundam. I've been getting into it. I've been reading the mangas, and I actually am building a Gundam right now. My first one. I posted it actually in the Discord about it, and so Tyler knows, and he picked this for me, and I didn't know about it. But I actually. This is kind of good because this kind of segues into something I wanted to talk about. If people have good Gundam video game recommendations, I would love to hear them, because I like looked up Gundam video games and there are a ton and there's a lot to sift through. So if anyone's got any recommendations of a good Gundam video game to play, send us an email or write in the Discord, because I really want to know more. I'm kind of getting obsessed with it.
And you're looking at Gundam specifically, like that franchise, not necessarily like
it could be like Dynasty Warriors. It could be Mech Warrior. I don't know.
Because the new Armored Core kind of falls into that.
That's the one that
really like
Armored Core 6, right? And that's more of a Souls-like game, I think, right?
That's what I've heard. Yeah, but it is like mechs.
Yeah, I think Lisa played that actually.
Yeah.
Former guest of the podcast, Lisa Wallen, friend of the podcast. I just want to know about Gundam games. Let me know if you played. Or if you play any and you like them, because I'm curious. But that was really good, Tyler. I should have. Well, I'm not gonna say I should have gotten it because I never played the game before, but I didn't know of it, so that was good. Still very good.
Yeah.
Well, Tyler, what you been playing?
I've been playing Destiny. Lots of Destiny.
Yeah.
And I am very close to firing up Super Mario RPG. Finally, I just need to do it because I really want to play the new remake or the new Mario and Luigi game Brothership when that comes out. So I want to catch up and I want to play Mario RPG and all the Mario and Luigi games, and I want to play the new Paper Mario remake too. So then I got to play the Paper Mario games. It's like I got a lot of Mario RPGs to get through. So that's what I'm thinking about, but I haven't actually done that yet. What about you? What have you been playing?
I've been playing Destiny with you, obviously. Destiny 2 with Tyler all the time. Until we don't, because we do go on long droughts of it where
That's
you and I
true.
are
Yep.
over it. I want to know like how many times during this podcast we've gone up and down in playing Destiny, because it's probably been like 2 or 3 phases of us like
Yeah.
not playing, and playing it again. But I beat Warhammer 40K Space Marine. I beat that game,
Nice.
and I actually want to talk about it because I told Tyler this already off the air because I was so mad. So I forgot, and this is nothing against the game. The game is great. It's a good game, but I forgot that in the, I'm going to say mid to late 2000s, early 2010s, there was a pattern that would happen in video games where they would end with QuickTime events. And that's how Warhammer 40K ends. So I'm playing it, Warhammer 40K Space Marine. I'm excited to fight the final boss, and I throw him over an edge. Spoilers. And it proceeds to do a QuickTime event to beat the final boss. There is no final boss fight. It is press A, press A, press A, press Y, press A, press A, press A, press Y. That's what it was.
Dang.
And
Not
it
even a hard QuickTime event. Not even like,
no.
not even throwing you
Oh wait,
curveballs.
actually, sometimes it would throw in a B button. Sometimes it
Oh,
would do that. So watch out, everybody. But that was like the game, and it just kind of bummed me out because Call of Duties did this. I believe Call of Duty Black Ops 2. I know for a fact Call of Duty's Ghosts did this, which is one of the least popular Call of Duty games, probably, if you ask people. But I forgot that they do this QuickTime event ending thing. And it's like, it just felt frustrating because you're building up to this game crescendo, right? And then you just push buttons to end it, and that's how the
yeah.
story ends. I don't like it. It didn't have the big satisfying ending. Like, because if you play like Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom, spoilers, you're gonna fight Ganon or Ganondorf. Like, I think everyone knows that. But like, it's gonna have like phases, and it's gonna be like a boss fight, and you want it
Hmm.
to feel like the term epic gets overused, but you want it to feel that way, I
Hmm.
think. And it just didn't happen that way. I still recommend the game to people, especially if you're like into Warhammer 40K. It's still a fun game, and it's ridiculous. And they have like ridiculous voice lines, and the orcs say crazy things, and it's really funny. But also the story actually has a pretty decent twist to it, for what it was. I mean, you can kind of guess it if you know Warhammer 40K, you can see it coming, but it's like, oh, okay. And also, I didn't realize this, but I played Warhammer 40K Bolt Gun. That was a Doom game that came out, a Doom style game, right? A boomer shooter that came out probably like 2 or 3 months ago now, maybe longer than that. And that takes place on Graia, the Forge world. And that actually is the same place that the Space Marine game took place on 13 years ago. And they are technically connected. They're just
Oh,
like later in time. And then the new Space Marine 2 comes out in September, and that's going to be obviously connected to all these two. So it's just kind of fun. So
cool.
yeah, I played that. I beat it. It was a good time. I had played Balatro a little bit. I stopped playing Balatro because much like Mo, it's addictive. Like, I was playing that game and I just lost track of time, and it was like 2 hours, and I'm like, what am I doing? And it's really good on Switch. It's really, really good. It's a very fun game to like build poker hands and then get these cards that like change things. Like, I think you're gonna love it, Tyler. When it comes out
Yeah,
on phones, I think that's the way to go.
I
But
think yeah,
also be
that's it.
careful because it's addictive.
Yeah.
Get careful. But yeah, so that's the episode for today. If you want to support us, you can go to codexhistorypodcast.net. The codexpodcast.net, excuse me. That's our website. Codex History Podcast, or yeah, Codex History Podcast at gmail.com is our email address. And then you can go to the website, though, for everything on there. Our Discord links on there, our Trello boards. I've been dragging stuff over there.
Oh
That's been
yeah, I need to
fun.
update mine. Maybe actually, probably nothing has changed.
You never know, though. It's fun. I put all the Destiny expansions on mine finally for each year. I thought that'd be good to put in there for my own video game history, my own
Yeah.
personal video game history, which is fun, by the way. If you haven't done that yet, listeners, I think that's a fun thing to do. Track what video games, like, try to think about what video games you've played and put them on a timeline. Because I did that one night, and it was really fun to be like, oh yeah, I played this when I was like 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of neat. And the cool thing is, if you have Xbox or PlayStation, I believe, at least for Xbox, I could look at when I got the achievements, and that kind of put the timeline for me of like when the games should
Mhm.
fall, which was kind of neat. So there was like a record of it. But our Trello boards are there, Discord's there. You can send us a contact form email. Again, this is a call out for Gundam video games. I would love that. So with that though, Tyler, do you want to say goodbye to everybody?
Goodbye, everybody.